Hello everybody, my name is Jacob Hunter, and I'm a digital cinematography film student at Full Sail University. Gail Wagner is an extraordinary filmmaker, actor, and artist right here in Middletown, Delaware. And on December 11th, I got the chance to interview her for my art history class. Hi Gail, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to me today.
My pleasure.
So what got you started in the arts?
If you're talking about like arts as far as, are you talking paintings, drawings, theater, or just arts in general?
Arts in general. I noticed you had a painting out there and it had your signature on it.
My dad found that I liked to draw, so he used to encourage that, and he used to leave me pictures and ask me to replicate them. And for birthdays and Christmases, I used to get art supplies. And I also had asthma, which I still have. So whenever I used to have asthma attacks, it was easier for me to separate myself from what my body was doing by going off into almost like a imaginary land and separating myself from the pain and the labor that my body was going to. So I used to go off and imagine things like plays and movies, and I would pretend I was someplace else or somewhere else while the body was going through what it was going through.
What do you see as the role of the visual arts in this mass-mediated world? And especially in your profession as an actor and filmmaker?
I guess the role is to deliver the information or make an impact, which with our instant gratification is becoming harder and harder. So that's why with the games, they look more exciting every time. So I think that holding someone's attention is getting harder and harder.
With new communications and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on the industry?
Me personally, I think it could be a negative impact, because you could have with some of the photo programs that are out there, you can have two different people purchase the same image, say they don't want to go out and spend the money to shoot their own commercial or shoot their own print ad. So you could have someone that's doing something for erectile dysfunction, have a couple, and you could have someone else buy the same image that's for a adoption agency, and they're both using exactly the image, and maybe that's what they get branded with. So that's a little confusing to the public.
What popular images do you see that are frequently rechanneled throughout the entertainment industry?
Well, I'm not a big person who likes the horror genre. I like more suspense, but one of the things that you see all the time is the blood splatter. There's a show I like called Supernatural because I like some of the elements of it, but every opening scene you're just sitting there waiting for the blood splatter shot, which they show every week in a different way.
Are there particular images that the industry has popularized or created?
Well, again, there's like in the horror genre, the blood splatter and maybe the gore factor that it likes going more. I don't like the gore so much as I like a thriller. And even with James Bond pushing the envelope on the difference between what someone can do as a stunt person and what becomes CG.
Who is one of your favorite visual artists? And what is your favorite visual art style?
I like Leonardo da Vinci because not only did he do the artwork itself or the sculpture, he also looked at how it worked, and he was a great inventor. I also like Dante Rossetti, who is more like a Renaissance painter, and he liked to use visually aesthetic things. He was part of a movement that talked about unrestricted, no corsets for women. The women had long flowing red hair rather than having it bundled up. There was a lot of influence with flowers, so it wasn't quite so structured.
How has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process?
Again, when you get back to Dante Rossetti and Leonardo da Vinci, it's looking how something moves, how it looks. Is it aesthetically pleasing to the audience? Is that part of it? Is it supposed to be pleasing to the audience, or is it supposed to be something that's just a little off kilter? So those kind of things do influence me on whether I'm doing a set, whether it's shooting it, how the light is, how the actors deliver. I mean, that's all part of dressing it and actually painting the canvas for the person to see.
Gail, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
My pleasure.